Hi everyone, welcome again. So this is the part 2 of our video. I hope you watched the first part of our video because that's the meat of our lesson. Now we are going to go to our analysis, okay? The final analysis. We'll have sample sentences and then we're going to analyze these sentences. And again, here are our steps in analyzing a sentence. Number 1, set of all prepositional phrases in parentheses. Number 2, cross out all adjectives and adverbs in the sentence. Number 3, underline once all nouns, including pronouns acting as nouns. And number 4, underline twice all verbs. So, are you ready? Let's go. So, do you still remember? Do you still remember the 4 types of sentence structures? If I think we talked about this one, maybe for the grade 7, I talked about this one. But for the grade 8 and grade 9, I think you had this one in your previous years. And you know what are these 4 types of sentence structures? And these are the what? These are the simple, the compound, the complex, and the compound complex sentences. But for our lesson today, for the entire lesson, we're just going to talk about the 3 types of sentence structures. We have the simple, we have the compound, and we have the complex sentence. Dili na to lisod-lisoron atong self with a compound and complex structure. Okay, so let's analyze simple sentences. Okay, so let's talk about simple sentences that have one subject and one verb. So basically, maura gid siya, one sentence and one verb. So here we have our sentence, Keisha is sleeping soundly in her room. Okay? So the first thing that we're going to do, unsa ganito? What's the first step? Number 1 is we are going to, very good, put prepositional phrases in parentheses. And our preposition here in the sentence is in. Now, in a sentence, there may be more prepositions, ha? But in this sentence, usa ra atong preposition, and our preposition is, very good, our preposition is in. Okay? What's the first noun after the preposition? Is her a noun? No, di ba? Is room a noun? Very good. So we end the preposition there. So, in her room. Okay? So that's our step 1. Okay? Now let's go to step 2. What's our step 2? Cross out all adjectives and adverbs in the sentence. Is Keisha an adjective or an adverb? No, 'di ba? Is sleeping an adjective or an adverb? 'Di ba, dili? Is soundly an adjective or an adverb? Yes, 'di ba? Soundly is describing what? Soundly is describing Keisha's sleeping. 'Di ba? Dili si Keisha ang i-describe sa soundly, but ang iyang pagkatulog. So, we cross it out. Okay? Next, how about ang her? Is her a adjective or an adverb? Very good. Because it's an adjective because it describes what? It describes, very good, ang room. Kang kinsa mang room? Kang Keisha. Okay? So, our step 2 will look like this. Wala na cross out ang her. Okay, so dapat i-cross out na ang her. My apologies. Okay, so we need to cross out her. Okay, step 3, underline once all nouns. Okay, is Keisha a noun? Is Keisha a name of a person, place, thing, chu-chu-chu-chu? Yes, very good. So we underline Keisha once. Is sleeping a noun? No, di ba? Is room is room a noun? Is room a name of a person, place, thing? Very good. Room is a noun because it's a name of a place. So we underline it once. So ingon ani ang mahitabo sa sentence. Wa gyapon na underline ang room. I'm sorry, but naagyo na underline ang room, ha, kanang room dira na underline. Okay? So Keisha is sleeping soundly in her room. And step 4, what's our step 4? We need to underline twice the verb. And what is our verb in this sentence? The verb in this sentence is sleeping. Very good. So we have our analysis here. of a simple sentence. So, the basic structure, okay? Why are we why are we doing this analysis? So that we can know the basic structure of the sentence. So, makaingon ta nga one na usa ka subject, na usa ka verb. So, that's a simple sentence. Okay? So, that's it. What's our subject? Kisha. What's our predicate? Is sleeping. So, that's how easy it is. Okay? Let's go to another example. Now, this is still a simple sentence, but there are two subjects and one verb. Okay? So, Jermaine and Gio are good friends. Okay? So, let's analyze this one. First step is we're going to put in parentheses the prepositional phrases. Let me ask you, is there a preposition in this sentence? Wala. Di ba wala? So, we proceed. Wala man. So, let's go to step 2. Step 2 is that we are going to cross out all the adjectives and adverbs in this sentence. Are there adjectives and adverbs in this sentence? There is. And what is that? Usara man yun. Usara yun ka adjective or adverb ang naaani nga sentence. And that is very good. And that is good. What kind of friends are they? They are good friends. So, it's an adjective describing the friends. Okay? So, that's step 2. Step 3, we're going to underline once all the nouns. And what are our nouns here? Names of persons, places, and things, whatever. So, we have Jermaine, underline once. Gio, underline once. And friends, underline once. So, step 3 will look like this. Okay? Step 4. Step 4, underline twice the verb. And what is the verb being used here? It's a state of being verb. What's the verb? Very good. The verb being used here is are. So, this is how our analysis will go. Sir Kevin, naalagi ng end lagi. Unsaon man nato ng end? Okay, we are going to talk about that one next meeting. But keep it as it is. Okay, dira lang na siya. Okay? Now, let's go to another simple sentence. Now, this simple sentence has one subject and two verbs. Okay? Usa ka subject and duha ka verbs. So, after breakfast, Eileen went to the museum and looked at pictures until closing time. Hala, so Sir Kevin, nagtaos-taos na lagi na itong sentence. Yes, anam-anam nagtaas itong sentence. But, let's analyze gyapon. There is, once you do this analysis, once ma-master ninyo ang 4 ka steps, analysis of sentences are very easy na lang. Okay, so let's start here. First step or step 1 is we are going to cross out all the prepositional phrases with a parenthesis. Okay, so let's find all our prepositions here. Is after a preposition? Very good, diba? After is a preposition. If you still remember, or if you memorize or familiarize at least the list of prepositions, dili gid mo maglisod. So if you are having a hard time with the prepositions, identifying what prepositions are, balik sa atong lesson sa prepositions, tanawa sa YouTube. Okay? But let's proceed here. After is a preposition. So we start our kanang parenthesis here sa after. So the next word sa after is breakfast. Is breakfast a name of a person, place, thing, or idea? Yes, diba? Because breakfast is a name of a meal. So we end our parenthesis after breakfast. So we have our first prepositional phrase. Let's look at the others in the sentence. If napabatay makitaan lain na preposition. What's our next preposition na ato makitaan? What's the next preposition that we can see? Is to. Very good. So we start at to. We start putting the parenthesis at to. Is the a noun? Diba? Dili. So we do not end it there. Is museum a noun? Is it a name of a person, place, thing? Very good. So we end our prepositional phrase there. Okay? So we have our second prepositional phrase. So our first is after breakfast. Number 2 is to the museum. Number 3, there is a third preposition here. The third preposition is At. Very good. So, sa atong at, dili ta magsugod sa ato ang opening, kanang first nga opening parenthesis. Okay? Is pictures a noun? Very good. Pictures is a noun. So, we close the preposition. We close the preposition. We close the parenthesis. So, we have our third prepositional phrase at pictures. Is there any other prepositions here? Very good. Napagilain last. It's the until. So, we open our prepositional phrase at until. Is closing a noun? Closing. Manoun man ang closing, pero naamang gid say sumpay. Unsay sumpay niya? Time, di ba? So, mangutan na ta, what kind of time? Closing time. So, closing there is an adjective only. So, we end our prepositional phrase after that time. So, ingon ani ang hitsura niya. Tada! Okay? So, we have 4 prepositional phrases. Okay? So, basically, ang atong sentence gyud kay Eileen went and looked. Okay? Number 2. Step number 2. Step number 1 pa man to. Step number 2. We are going to step number 2, we are going to cross out all the adjectives and adverbs in this sentence. So, what's the first adjective na atong makitaan sa sentence? The. Very good. Because it's describing it's describing the museum. Okay? And look until... Okay, what kind of time? Closing time. So, we also have to cross out the closing. So, step 2, ingon ani ang mahitabo. So, we cross out na to. We cross out all the adjectives in the sentence and adverbs. Okay? Step number 3, we underline once all the nouns. Okay? So, ato daw i-underline ka isa tanang nouns. Okay? So sa atong prepositional phrases na agad say noun, di ba? So, ato na i-underline daan ang breakfast, ang museum, ang pictures, ug ang time. Kaya as you remember, our prepositional phrases always ends in a noun. Okay? So, we underline them already. Napabaylain natong i-underline sa sentence? Aside from breakfast, museum, pictures, and time, there is one more. And that is Eileen. Very good. So, our step 3 will look like this. Okay? So, atong gipang underline ang mga noun. Last, step number 4, underline twice all the verbs. What are our verbs in this sentence? Very easy. Our verbs in this sentence is went and looked. So, it will look like this. And finally, that is our analysis of a simple sentence. Okay? Now, napagilaing simple sentence. A simple sentence with 2 subjects and 2 verbs. Okay? 2 subjects and 2 verbs. Lisod na siya. Ako na, sayo na magyahapon siya. Pero nala, ang sentence ng good, kaya nalang gyud duha ka subject ug duha ka verb. Okay? So we have Elsie and Chen studied very well and slept early for the upcoming exam. Okay? So we have here step number 1. Put in parentheses all the prepositional phrase. So do we have a prepositional phrase here? Yes, we have. What's our preposition? Find the preposition. Very good. The preposition there is for. So we open parentheses sugod sa for. Where should our parenthesis end? Asa ta dapat mag-closing parenthesis? Sa the, sa upcoming, or sa exam? Very good, because the there is only describing the exam. What kind of exam? The exam. What kind of exam? The upcoming exam. So, exam ra gyud ang ato ang noun diri. So, we end our prepositional phrase at the exam. So, it will look like this. Atong parenthesis sa step 1. Step 2. Cross out all adjectives and adverbs in the sentence. Cross out. So, Elsie and Chen's, dili man na sila adjectives and adverbs studied very well. Okay, kaning very. Is very an adjective? If you remember in our lesson, di ba? Very is an adjective. So we cross it out. How about ang well? How did Elsie and Chen's study? Well, di ba? So it's an adverb also, so we cross it out. And slept early. When did Elsie and Chance sleep? Early, di ba? So we cross out early as well. So ingon ani ang mahitabo sa to ang sentence when we cross out the adjectives and adverbs. Tada! Also sa kanang the upcoming exam. Kay you all know nga, these are adjectives, di ba? So, basically, ang atong sentence is Elsie and Chance studied and slept. Okay? Step number 3. Underline the nouns. Kapila. How many times? Once. Very good. So, what are our nouns here? We have Elsie, because it's a name of a person, obviously. We have Chance, because it's a name of a person. And the exam, because it's a name of a thing. Okay, so we underline these for step 3. Once. There we go. No, ang exam, wala na po na underline. Sorry, but naago na underline dapat dira. Okay? And step number 4, underline twice the verbs in the sentence. What are the verbs that we are using in the sentence? Studied and sleep. Very good. So, there we have our analysis of a simple sentence. Okay? So, yun na gud siya. Now, let's go to compound sentence. Okay? The compound sentence is obviously two independent clauses combined by a conjunction. What kind of conjunction? The coordinating conjunction. That means, what are the coordinating conjunctions again? We have the fun boys. What are the fun boys? For, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. So, these are our fanboys. And we need to remember this one para makabalota if compound sentence ba siya or complex sentence. Okay? So, let's analyze this sentence that we have. Sabrina did not like going to the dentist. Okay? She went anyway. Yet, she went anyway. Okay? So, number 1. Number 1, cross out all the prepositional phrases, cross out naman, set of prepositional phrases with parentheses. What's our preposition here in the sentence? Do we have a preposition? Yes, we have. What's our preposition? To. Very good. So, we start our parentheses at to. Asa dapat mo end ang atoang prepositional phrase? Diba sa noun? What's the first noun after the preposition? Dentist. Very good. So, our step 1 will look like this. Okay? Step number 2. Cross out all adjectives and adverbs in the sentence. Okay? So, Sabrina, of course, Sabrina is the subject. So, we will not remove it. So, did is part of the like. Okay? Not, diba, is an adverb, remember? Not is one of the most commonly used adverbs, so we cross it out. Very good. Going there is not an adjective, okay? Or an adverb. Yet, of course, yet, we know na conjunction na ang yet. She, it's a pronoun functioning as a noun. Went is a verb. Anyway is an adverb. So, we cross it out. Okay? So, ingon ani ang mahitabo sa sentence. So, we cross out nato ang not og anyway. Step number 3. Underline once all the nouns that we use in the sentence. Okay? So, we have here is Sabrina. Of course, Sabrina is the name of a person. Going. So, inani mo gini siya, children. Mura bitaw siya og direct object. So, what did Sabrina not like? Okay? So, going. Okay? So, going there is a noun. So, we also underline that one. She is a noun there. Functioning as a noun. It's a pronoun, but it's functioning as a noun. Okay? And went is a verb. So, dili. So, atong i-underline dira kay ang sorry. There you go. Step number 3. So, we underlined Sabrina. We underlined going. and we underlined she. And step number 4, underline twice all the verbs here. What's our first verb here? Did like. Okay, so did like, and the next verb is went. So yun ani ang hitsura sa ato ang analysis. Okay? So Sabrina did not like going to the dentist, yet she went anyway. Okay? Now let's go to the complex sentence. Okay? Whenever prices goes up, customers buy less products. Okay? Whenever prices goes up, customers buy less products. So let's go first to step number 1. Do we have a prepositional phrase here? Or do we have a preposition here? Wala, di ba? Kaya di mo ta pwede maingon nga kuwan. Yun na ha. Oh, di mo ta pwede maingon nga up. Kaya wala man say sumpay. Wala man say noun after. Kung na pa na say up the hill, then that's a prepositional phrase, but it's only being used kanang on its own, so we cannot have a prepositional phrase. Okay? So step 1, still the same. Step number 2, underline, cross out all the adjectives and adverbs in the sentence. Okay? So let's ask, the prices go where? The prices go up. Very good. So it's an adverb describing how the prices are going. Okay? So we cross up, out. Okay? And customers buy less products. How many products will customers buy? Less, di ba? So less there is an adjective. So we cross both up and less. Okay? So we cross it out. Okay? Next, number 3. Step number 3, underline once all nouns. So unsa itong mga nouns ani nga sentence? We have the prices, and we have the customers, and we have the products. So we underline them once. Okay? And step number 4, underline twice all verbs. So what is the verb that we are going to use here? So we have the goes and the buy. Very good. So that's it. Sir Kevin, what will happen to the whenever? Okay, just like the same, di ba kuan man ni siya? Subordinating conjunction. If you remembered our lessons sa subordinating conjunction, whenever is a type of a subordinating conjunction. And just like coordinating conjunction, we are going to learn unsay function ani nila sa diagramming in our next meeting. Okay? So I hope that you're going to watch. If you have any questions, you ask me. And don't worry, we will meet. Okay, first half of the class we are going to meet because we will have a few exercises before you do your own exercises. Okay, I think that would be all for our lesson. Again, if you have questions, message me on Messenger and I will reply to you. Okay, thank you everyone. That's our lesson for this week. Bye.